Well, Coach, going into your third year here in Rock Springs, and it seems like expectations a little higher for the Tigers this year.
Yeah, I think anytime you bring this many guys back, I think people just automatically expect you to be better. But we're no different than everybody else this time of year. We've got holes and we've got things we need to work on and improve. And so hopefully we can find a way to get those sewn up as quick as possible to play our best football as we get going here.
So what have you seen in practice here in the first week and a half, almost 2 weeks complete?
Well, I can tell you this, it just seems like with them being older and in the system and us being able to actually work with them this summer, it's made a big difference in terms of their retention of the schemes. Don't feel like, first year we were kind of trying to work into it, and last year it was almost like being a first year guy all over again in terms of we didn't get any time to work with them, so we didn't really start playing our best football, I didn't feel, till about the midway point of the year. So hopefully we can hit the start with a little more gusto this time of year.
What do you got to get done before first game next week?
Well, I think more than anything is you just got to focus on first games. Typically are won and lost with turnovers, as are most games, but I think you got to put an emphasis on taking care of the football and also taking it away. And so the biggest thing is with those first games is just try and minimize the mistakes, limit your penalties, and then we all need to play a few to kind of find out where we're at and where we need to improve. And so the whole goal about high school football is just to get better each week, especially in Wyoming.
Yeah. Speaking of kind of finding where you're at, it seems 4A is about as wide open as it's been because so many guys are gone.
Yeah, I think so. I think as a general rule this year, most teams are relatively young, especially up front. It seems like everybody had a pretty veteran offensive and defensive line last year. And so I personally think that's going to kind of be the key to the 4A season, is whoever's O-line and D-line develops the fastest will probably be the one standing at the end.
You got a couple of stalwarts to kind of at least lean on in Isaac and Caden. What do you see out of those guys when you see them on the football field?
Well, I mean, they're versatile players. And, from an offensive coordinator's perspective, it's nice to have guys who you can hand it to, throw it to, who can block, and I think sometimes in football that's what people are looking for, tight ends. And so we got a couple of good ones there that we'll use in a number of different ways. And then defensively, I feel like we're not as big as we've been, but I think our team speed is faster. And the biggest thing is with football is it's gotten so complex in terms of lots of schemes, formations. Everybody's doing something a little bit different, RPOs. These guys have all played a lot of football, and Caden and Isaac are guys who've started since they were sophomores, so they've played over 20 varsity games. And that experience, that's something you can't replicate.
Now, I could be mistaken, but I believe you've got a returning starting quarterback as well. How beneficial is that?
Oh, Brock's awesome. I mean, he does everything that we ask him to do. And the coolest part about this kid is he's just gotten better every year. He's learned the scheme, and he's probably one of the most improved players in our entire program from the time he was a freshman or when I took this job as he was becoming a sophomore to now. So we're really excited about the things that he can do. And it probably his greatest strength is he knows his strengths and he knows his weaknesses and he plays to his strengths.
All right, well, appreciate the time. Best of luck.
All right, thanks, David.